Everybody's basketball journey is different. And this entire video is completely subjective. But this is the advice that I wish I had when I was younger and going through these struggles myself. The three things that I will be tackling today is, number one, what causes burnout and how to solve it. 2, how to crush self-doubt and play basketball with confidence. And 3, how to actually be consistent. Let's get started. To get started, burnout happens when you don't include one thing while you play basketball and while you train. And that is fun. If you're not having fun with what you're doing, motivation can only take you so far. When we think about our psychology and motivation as a whole, we are rewarded when we achieve something that we're proud of, or we achieve something that brings us joy. But if it comes to the point that basketball is just something that you do and not something that you get up every morning and you get excited to do, it becomes a chore. I know a lot of y'all felt that way because shoot, man, that was the biggest struggle I faced in my basketball career, was finding the difference between making it a chore and making it something that I love and keeping it that way. When I was a sophomore in high school, I didn't get much playing time on varsity. I rode the bench for most of the season. And it was a shame because I felt like I was better than the other guys on varsity. They didn't take the game as seriously as I did. They goofed off. Man, I remember in one of our fall league games, this kid showed up drunk and high, or at least he was hungover. And he still got more minutes than me. And he didn't even perform well. And that really frustrated me because I worked out every single day. No rest days, really. And I wanted it so bad. And I began to resent the game of basketball as a whole. I began to resent my coach for the decisions he was making, the substitutions, the rotations, and I wasn't getting any playing time. I blamed everything on things that were out of my control. And of course, as I got older, I realized that resentment was flawed because it was my fault. It wasn't the coach's fault. It wasn't this player's fault or that. It was nobody's fault except my own, right? And, you know, of course, when we're younger and it's easier to make excuses than actually face the facts, but that's a thought for another time. It was a valuable lesson that I was able to take from this, though, because sometimes in life, the things that you love to do won't give you those same rewards back. The rewards of being recognized for your hard work, or, I don't know, some of y'all are playing basketball in the hopes that you can earn money from it someday, and that's great, but if that's the only reason why you're doing it, you're going to end up hating the game to begin with. I'm so grateful that I learned this lesson early, because not enjoying something that you're really passionate about and something that you love hurts. It really hurts because it feels like you have a lack of purpose. And every time you force yourself to go train, it gets a little bit more difficult to do. Like I said, fun is one of the only ways I know to actually handle burnout. And taking breaks can be nice because then you start to realize, oh, I miss playing basketball. I miss the grind. I miss the hard training, right? But something interesting you got to think about when you take breaks from basketball is that you're probably not going to go back to playing because you miss it so much. What you'll end up doing is going back because you feel like you're going to be left behind. You feel like other players are getting ahead of you. And that's why you go back. And I promise y'all, I'm not a mind reader. I just know I dealt with this, and I imagine a lot of you guys have too. So understand that. The reason why I'm so passionate about this is because it really negatively impacted my life. Basketball was my outlet for negative emotions. It helped me process things, and it was like my escape from pain for a long period of time. Thankfully, I've matured, but basketball was really like something that kept me happy. And so my advice to you, if you are feeling burnt out, remember why you started. When you were a young kid, or whenever you started the game of basketball, the reason why you started was because you thought it was fun. You enjoyed doing it. But then you got so serious. You started to think, okay, what AAU team should I play for this year? What's the most optimized schedule I could do? How do I make the most points on my team? How do I average more points? And we get stuck in this optimization cycle. And we get so robotic that we forget we're human. I think that's why there's such an allure to all the AI programs nowadays. People are getting nervous about the future, right? Oh, the AI are going to take over. I don't know. But for your basketball journey, be more human. The second thing I wish to discuss is how to deal with self-doubt and how to actually play confident. This goes beyond the game of basketball. Self-doubt in the game of basketball comes from everything else in your life. If you aren't succeeding in basketball because of a lack of belief, that could trickle over into everything else, and vice versa. If you're doing poorly in school, for example, that might make you think, man, I just can't do anything right. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad at X, Y, and Z. And then the negative self-talk starts to cycle. If you are failing at any venture in life, you're not doing well, you're struggling, that doesn't make you a loser. That doesn't make you weak. That doesn't make you anything. All these self-help gurus and the, I don't even know, Sigma, Alpha, male people, whatever,
breathe air,
will tell you that if you make a mistake, that you need to get mad at yourself for it and be ashamed, because no real man would make a mistake about not hitting every single workout or being inconsistent, whatever. But I need to tell you right now that you will never meet somebody that is perfect. Never. So why do you hold yourself to that standard? Yeah, you might have missed a few shots. Yeah, you might have had a couple turnovers. Yes, you might have sucked. Let's be real. Maybe you sucked. Maybe you had a horrible season. Okay, why does it matter? If it's in the past and you can't change it, why are you letting it affect the rest of your life? Why are you letting it impact your mindset in that way? The number one way to beat self-doubt is to get so good at something that you no longer suck. Now, a lot of y'all out there tell me in the comments, dude, I train every single day for 3+ hours, blah, blah, blah. Why am I not confident? Well, I think you're basing your mental state off of your physical actions. Let me put it to you this way. If you wanted to face your fears of swimming, for example, would you practice running so you can run away from the water faster? No. You would just dive into that water. Hopefully in a shallow pool or something. But anyway, when it comes to your mental state, when it comes to thoughts of self-doubt versus confidence, you have to dive into what you're thinking. You have to sit down, get a piece of paper, and write down all the thoughts that are ruminating around your mind. Once you do that, you can have a deeper understanding of yourself. So if you want to be confident, be compassionate with yourself, and trust that you're on the right path. And stop trying to be perfect, you know? There's going to be bumps in the road. There's going to be moments when you feel terrible. That's part of life. And if you don't understand that now, how do you think you're going to fare later in life? So you might as well take it now and carry it into the next part of your life. Now guys, if you're struggling with consistency, click the top link in the description. You can purchase the 365-day basketball training journal on my website, get it shipped to you, and you can use it to help you in your basketball journey. Also, if you don't know what workouts to do, I have them all listed on that same site. Check it out. Top link in the description. Finally, let's talk about consistency. Burnout negatively impacts consistency, but if you solve that, great. Consistency is usually misunderstood because a lot of people think that consistency is, I trained every single day and I didn't miss a single day. That's an okay idea of it, but you're gonna mess up and you're gonna think you're inconsistent now and you're gonna get mad about it, and then you're gonna fall off because, oh, since I missed one day, I can't go back now, I messed up, right? But the true definition of consistency, in my opinion, is that you did more than you did before. So let's say 1 month you trained 13 days out of the 30, right? The next month you trained 16. Oh, well, now you're improving your consistency. And then if you keep improving, then maybe you can get up to 25+ days out of the 30 that you train. That's very consistent. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't think that everybody's watching you, and you already have enough people to tell you to work harder and that you suck. And if you want to be successful, you got to do these 10 things, and I'm not here to give you all that fluff, alright? Everybody's trying to tell you how to live. I'm just telling you what I wish I knew. This is more of a video about your mental state, your happiness, your overall enjoyment of life, dude. Your overall enjoyment of the game of basketball. It could be easy for me to say, oh, you're only training 6 days a week? Train 10 hours every day, and then do a 7th. I don't think that's going to help. My words won't change much, but I hope the actual heart-to-heart right here could make a difference for you. That's my goal. So if I could recap this entire video in just one sentence: have fun and stop being so hard on yourself. And as a bonus second sentence, have faith in Jesus Christ. He'll help you out. Click this video to learn how to lead your basketball team. But as always, keep God first. Stay blessed, bro.